Hello again, long time no see, and thank you for joining me for another video. So I had to take a little break because the way that the social media platforms work is very triggering if you have PTSD, because they are meant to be, because that keeps you engaged when you're emotionally charged, try to solve the emotional charge, and we all got this little dopamine addiction and these weird, cortisol loving parasites in our bellies and intestines. And I just needed a break from it. And I felt like I was not focusing on my spiritual growth. And if I'm not offering you information that has helped me become a larger spiritual entity, then I'm engaging in a low level game that I don't want to participate in at all. And some of the things that happen on these platforms, I don't want my energy attached to. And so, it's really difficult to find where that balance is, where I have something to say and I want to use the platform to say it because it's available for me to do that, and not wanting them to exist at all. And they kind of not, if I don't see them, will they go away? So they didn't. They're still here. So I figured, why not come back on and talk a little bit more? I hope that things are a little less weird. So I've recently been doing this thing called intergroup dialogues. So it's where a group of people from diverse backgrounds and ages and genders and all of that get together in a room, and a small group that meets over a period of weeks and discuss some of the more volatile topics on the table, playing out in society or what have you. And it's been a really interesting experience. And I noticed that a lot of times, I think because I'm a person who has invested so much into spirituality and also healing from the trauma of being aware of suffering, not only my own suffering, but also the suffering of others. It really takes you on a wisdom journey, because you accept the things that you cannot change. That is a wisdom lesson. You have to know what you can change and know what you can't change, and then you have to be willing to release and trust. And that is it's a development. It's like an education that reality gives you, and an enlightening of your soul to understand what it is to be a part of that learning process and reflection. So I'm sitting in these groups with, very, on the surface, we're all fairly similar and, Midwestern and kind of homogeneous in that way. But of course, I've been homeless before, and there was a couple people in there who had traveled quite extensively. There was people from very small towns, people from bigger cities, and just that much difference was enough to inform a different perspective on some of the things that we were talking about. And I think we can get so hyper fixated on right and left that we forget nuance. We forget that integrative middle path that actually makes more sense. Everybody's got their own little script that they have to work out, but there's this nuanced way to look at things. And it's when you're on this spiritual path or healing journey, it's really important to try hard not to get triggered into the emotional and moral kind of hook, if you will, and to maintain a trust in the universal force of goodness that doesn't just disintegrate because something bad happened. Sometimes those bad things are happening in the same way that a bad thing happened in your life. that might have sparked your growth, or it felt like a bad thing, but what it really was that shell cracking. That might be happening for other people on levels that you don't have enough information to know. And so having that spirit of trust kind of like imbued into the essence that you are able to expand into and allow others to experience through you is really vital. It's so vital. It's such an important part of the growth. Like we can you feel the big energy and you feel the strength of your spirit and you want to go fix everything with it. That is what happens. It's like, the big strong man who wants to like protect everybody. Once you have that spiritual armor, that's what you want to do with it. You want to protect everybody with it. But there's more to the story than that. And so you have to really balance out that urge to protect everybody and that need to allow people to grow and trust that larger picture, that there's something maybe that you aren't fully cognizant of that is being worked out in the process of these horrible atrocities happening. What can you fix? What can you be present for? Where is your energy capable of solving one person's problem or your problem, or maintaining peace and harmony in the space that you hold, right? So we can get super triggered and pulled into, I think especially if you have that PTSD or any sort of trauma issues, it's really easy to get pulled into all of this, the dynamic nature of crisis, other people's crisis, and then lose sight of your own spiritual growth in the process. And you have to pull yourself back into it, and it's a little bit of a learning to step into the wisdom of letting go of what isn't yours to fix, and staying true to your spiritual path. So those are some of the things I've been thinking about. It's difficult on these platforms to do that because you get the views by the big groups. If people can be divided, that's a whole nice big chunk of people that you can speak to and that will respond to what you're saying in this mirroring, but it isn't real. It's artificial. The artificial scripts and artificial shepherding. And so you have to really like stand strong in your, silent little voice in the wilderness, even if that's what it is. And so I think I needed to take some time to remember that, and just wanted to come on and say hello again. And if I think of things that are relevant, I will certainly pop on and say so. But I don't want to be so chasing of the numbers, because that does not feel good in the slightest. So hope you are well. See you soon.